Hey everybody, Laurent Truc here from the Mad Profit podcast. Welcome back. Today we have a special guest, Mike Grantis from Barterpay.ca. This is a bit of a different interview than what I've done in the past. Barterpay.ca is a very interesting new community that's being created, and it's been around now for a couple of years, that allows members to barter with other members. And I see a very unique opportunity for even internet businesses to be able to put excess product or even use up excess capacity if they have a service business. And I think it's a really interesting way to continue to sell and even diversify your sales. So Mike is a terrific guy, and it was a great interview. So dive in, and hopefully you'll find value in it. Thank you.
Welcome to the Mad Profit Podcast, where we interview active investors, entrepreneurs, and experts who left corporate jobs to buy or start successful ventures and live life on their own terms. Listen to their stories, learn from their experiences, and heed their advice so you too can create mad profits and the life you've always wanted. And now, here's your host, Laurent Truc.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we got a special guest with us. His name is Mike Grantis from Barterpay.ca. Mike, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thanks so much. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
I'm great.
I'm glad you're on. You're a bit of a different guest than I've had in the past. Focused on more of the online business type entrepreneurs, and you're obviously, your business is that, but I think you provide services for many types of business. So it'll be really interesting to kind of dive in and get the lowdown of how you help everybody. So,
of course.
Can you give a little bit of background about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Mike Grantis. I'm the Senior Director for Business Development for the Barterpay Toronto community. And essentially what Barterpay is we're Canada's largest and fastest growing organized barter exchange. So what that means is we help business owners to pay for things that they need or accumulate the things that they need using their own idle time, capacity, and services as payment instead of cash. Right, so it's a way for business owners to conserve some of their cash, get the things that they need, increase their profit margins, and grow their business. And the reason I say organized barter is because it's very different than traditional barter, right? Traditional barter is the oldest form of commerce, and it's how business was invented, but it's got some big flaws. And one of those is what we call the coincidence of wants. And so what that is when you need to find somebody that has what you need, needs what you have at the same time and at the same value. And, that doesn't happen very often in business, especially with the complexities of kind of modern markets. And so what we did with Barterpay is we created this ecosystem where you no longer have to be tied into one-to-one transactions. All you have to do is provide your idle time or your idle capacity or goods and services to the network. Anybody within the Barterpay community can pay for those services using barter credits. And each barter credit is equal in value to Canadian dollars, 1-to-1, for kind of accounting, tax, and valuation purposes. And then you accumulate those barter credits, and you can spend those barter credits on whatever you need. So instead of having to be locked into these transactions, now it's a one-to-many barter system where you can actually procure the things that will help you grow your business and reduce costs. So that's what we're doing here in Toronto, and it's great, super exciting.
Very interesting. When did you guys launch?
We launched as Barterpay just about 2.5 years ago, and in that time we've amassed a network of about 4,000 businesses across Canada.
Wow.
Seen some really lightning fast growth. Had some great signings with national partners like Restaurants Canada, Retail Council of Canada, Ontario Chamber of Commerce, and many others to come. But we've really seen some great traction, and I think it's because we're providing this kind of alternative mechanism for business owners to really get the most out of their business, for them to increase their capacity and work at closer to the kind of full throttle.
Excellent. So can you give us kind of an understanding of the types of businesses that are in the ecosystem today?
You know what? It's funny that you ask that because they're so wide ranging. We don't necessarily focus on a certain niche of business. What we more focus on is the mindset of the business owner, right? And so what we usually say is barter can work for any business, but not every business owner makes it work. And so you need to have a mindset that's, open to making deals, open to trying new things. Loves to network. We love givers. We love people that are, socially conscious and thinking about their community. So, I mean, what I would say is we have services, we have physical goods, we have businesses from solopreneurs all the way up to Gordon Foods, who's a $17 billion company, and provides us their idle food inventory for restaurants and retail consumers. So the kind of wide-ranging different types of businesses is pretty remarkable. But as we focus on these different industries and get these big industry leaders as our partners, they're starting to kind of trickle down the word, and it really starts to grow organically from the ground up.
So I can literally buy my groceries off Barterpay. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the great thing is it's at wholesale cost of goods, right? So Gordon Food Service is a major food distributor in Canada, but they sell to restaurants, and so when they have when they've overproduced some inventory, they'll sell kilograms of mashed potatoes or things that they would sell to restaurants. I mean, there's everything from kitchen equipment to food service product. But it's a great way to supplement that grocery order for sure.
That's great. Do most businesses that are on the platform take the wholesale approach, or does it really depend on what they're offering?
Well, what we say is fairly price your product. So as you're priced in the marketplace, price it the same way in barter credits. And that's because, with fair value of barter credit to dollar, it makes everything simple from accounting to valuation to doing your taxes. And you don't want to have a different price point in the marketplace as opposed to barter. That being said, what we always say is we will never discount your product to sell it on Barterpay. So one of our largest value propositions is that we can sell product at full cost in barter credits, as opposed to discounting it in the cash world and having to maybe take 50% for a closeout sale. So we'll price everything at full price. We'll get your full your full retail value for it, and make sure that you continue to hold all that buying power.
Can you give us an example or two of successes that have happened on the platform?
Yeah, I mean they're so they happen every day, and they're so wide ranging. But just actually literally yesterday, one of the great examples we had is one of our moving companies had 20,000 bottles of hand sanitizer that they wanted to sell on Barterpay, and they wanted to liquidate it quickly and get some storage space out of their warehouse. So what we did was we put out a blast to our Barterpay members. One of our members, Gulf North, ended up purchasing 7,200 bottles within the first 5 minutes. Wow. And then another one of our members, one of our charity members, purchased 6,000 bottles within the next 20 minutes. And then we as Barterpay are purchasing the rest, and we're going to sell those to the Barterpay community. So within the span of a day, or even less than a day, we sold through $20,000 or 20,000 bottles of hand sanitizer, roughly 60 grand in revenue for that business that they can now, that was essentially just taking up space in their warehouse, that they can now spend on things that they need to grow their business, be it advertising, be it SEO or printing, or moving equipment, renovations, whatever have you. There's so many different options within the Barterpay community that they can spend it really the way that they want.
And the alternative would have been for them to market that they're selling this, put a huge discount on it, get their whole team involved in trying to sell it. Now they were able to do it to a very focused group with your help as a marketing avenue to sell it quickly.
Absolutely. And, maybe hand sanitizer isn't the best example because there's probably a cash market for that as well. Let's just say they had all this inventory in their warehouse that just wasn't selling in the cash world. I'll give you another example. We had Willowbrook Nurseries in Niagara has had going into last winter, they had about $400,000 worth of flowers on their dump list that they just couldn't sell in the cash world, so they couldn't keep it through the winter. They were going to dump it. Now, what we did through Barterpay is we created some barter promos. We blasted it out to our network. We sold almost $100,000 worth of flowers to our community that would have been thrown in the garbage, right? Now this is $100,000 barter credits and buying power for this business owner. But what he chose to do was actually donate it to charity, our charity called Barter.ca Forward Foundation that works with about 100 charities across the country. So now this is $100,000 worth of purchasing power that goes to charities so they can now drive their mission forward that would have been thrown in the garbage.
Yeah.
And he gets a tax receipt. He gets a full 40% tax receipt in return. So he does good. He, puts his product to good use and also, shares the wealth with the community. So it's really a win-win-win for business owners everywhere across Canada.
That's huge. That's very cool. I love the marketing aspect that you guys bring to the table, right? There is 4,000 eyeballs who are looking probably, first there in terms of what's available for them to buy with cash that they've accrued through barter trade, and service or products being able to go to you and say, hey, I've got some open capacity, really want you guys to push it. Like, how does that work? How much marketing do you do on behalf of a business owner?
Yeah, great question. What I would say, first of all, is every business owner that signs up gets assigned a barter coach. So your barter coach is kind of like your personal sales concierge or your sales they'll help you not only promote and advertise your business, but they'll also help you to procure the things that you need. So they're really your first point of contact with respect to barter. Now, when businesses sign up, we really try and inculcate the fact that you want to think barter first. If there's something that you want to buy, instead of spending cash in the cash world, you might as well look in the barter network, call your barter coach and see if there's anything available that we can find for you, because it's always better if you can spend your barter credits as opposed to cash. With respect to marketing, what we do is we have a barter blast that goes out twice a week, once nationally and then once to the local community. And it's totally free for business owners within the Barterpay membership. You let us know when you have capacity or when you want to be promoted. We then, our graphics design team will build an advertisement for you. We'll put you up on our barter blasts. They get great open rates with respect to our Barterpay community because they're always looking for things that they can barter with. And it's just a great way to get some extra eyeballs on your product or your service and create some new cash business essentially down the road, because you're now building up this network of like-minded business owners that can promote your product as well. We do that. If you have a specific deal or a specific promotion that you want to do, we'll even build out a separate email entirely for you called a barter promo. And for example, when Gordon Foods came on board and they were starting their inventory sales, we built a barter promo for them, sent it out to the entire network, let them know. And we'll even build out full Shopify stores for businesses if they have extra inventory that they want to sell on Barterpay. So wow. The extent of our marketing, it continues to grow, but the value that we're adding to the marketplace continues to grow as well with it.
That's very cool. That's very cool. You and I had a conversation before around, the varied types of services that are on the platform. Some of them are B2B, some of them are B2C. I think you said chiropractors, massage therapists, different things like that, right? From a tax perspective, how does a business that maybe has accrued quite a bit of barter credits use the barter credits for personal consumption, right? So let's say they do want to get food or they do want to get a massage. you had recommended a way to kind of move those barter credits from the business world to the personal world to the financial world. Can you kind of cover that a bit?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of creative financing ways that you can use your barter credits as a business owner. In the same way that, if you're incorporated, you can pull money out of your business. You'd have to repay it back in some form or fashion. But absolutely, there's nothing that says you only have to spend your credits on business expenses. They can also be used for cottages and vacations and rentals and timeshares. So what I would recommend, and what we actually had somebody do, was we've had somebody build almost an entire house personally with barter credits. And I'll kind of explain the story and how that worked. He was a mattress manufacturer, and the house costed, I think, $300,000 or $400,000. And he was able he was able to provide almost $300,000 worth of those services in barter credits.
Wow. And
what he did was, as he ran a mattress manufacturer, he put $300,000 worth of mattresses on Barterpay, and over time, not just to flood the network, but generally he started to accrue these credits and build up this net worth in his company of roughly 300,000 barter credits. Mm-hmm. Now he used those. Mind you, the cost of those mattresses to him was only $100,000. So cost of goods sold was about $100,000. Now what he did was he spent those 300,000 barter credits on things to build the house, carpentry, plumbing, electrical, and physical goods like wood and all that stuff. And then, I mean, I'm not a carpenter, but, and then what he did was he cut himself a check for $100,000 for the cost of goods sold back into his business. So now all the cash that was outlaid to build up those barter credits is back in his business. And he's built a $300,000 or a $400,000 home for really the price of $100,000. So moving credits in and out of your personal account versus business account. There's a lot of creative ways to do it, but just in the same way that there's a lot of creative accounting methods and financing methods for businesses as well.
And you guys have kept it easy, $1 per credit. So, and from a tax perspective, CRA looks at it as, you made $1, it's $1 of revenue. And so you're paying, it's just another account. Is that how it works?
Absolutely. So we actually have an agreement with with CRA that says each dollar is equal in value to a barter credit. And so that actually makes it really easy. Our Barterpay bank account, you can call it, can be added into QuickBooks, can be added into your general ledger, just like any other bank account can be. And for accounting purposes, whenever you make a sale, it should go under revenue. And whenever you make a purchase, it should go under expenses. And that just keeps everything really, really tied together. What I would say as well as us as barter coaches, what we're trying to do is act more like consultants for your business. So we're not going to let you accrue 300,000 barter credits without knowing that there's something that you're going to use those for. So we want to figure out, okay, what is the amount of barter credits that you're going to need to do a certain project? Let's hypothetically turn on the sales faucet, get you some sales. We'll promote your business. We'll market you. We'll get you some sales. Then we'll turn off that sales faucet when you have enough to purchase what you need. And then you can go out and spend those credits. So it's kind of like credits in, credits out. And then there's no tax liability because with respect to, HST, you're paying HST in barter credits and you're receiving HST in barter credits. And, when you actualize for the year, it ends up being close to a wash, right?
Right. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So I think most of my listeners, obviously we talk about buying and selling internet businesses. So, is there a heavy concentration of services? Like I'm thinking SEO, AdWords, are those kinds of businesses readily available on the platform today?
So definitely they are. There's lead generation services, there's SEO, web development, those type of things. What I would say is, we don't work directly with Google or Facebook, so you can't pay for your ad spend through barter credits, unfortunately, not yet.
Not yet.
But there definitely are those B2B services that can help you grow your business. And I know you work directly with e-commerce sites as well. And what I would say is e-com sites tend to be the kind of best in class sellers on Barterpay because they have physical good products. You know exactly what you're getting. They're easy to market. We can put you in our Shopify multi-vendor marketplace. And that's a great place for business owners to kind of see what's available and pick out what's available. So e-com sites do tend to do really well. But there is such a broad mix of services, professional services, and B2B or B2C that can really help you grow your business or whatever you'd like to do in your personal life.
Perfect. And you talked that even if your services are commission based, you guys have a way of making that work. I think you said you had some real estate agents as examples.
Yeah, absolutely. So with respect to real estate, it's a little bit more difficult because there's lots of stringent regulations with respect to brokerages and how money gets transferred.
Mm-hmm.
But what we've done in the past was real estate deals where after the closing of the house and the commission gets paid out to the real estate agent or the real estate brokerage, we've created contracts before the deal that say, once this commission gets paid out, we'll swap it with the consumer for barter credits. So this is our mechanism to say, okay, if you're a real estate agent, we can find you buyers or sellers within the Barterpay community. We'll market your business. We'll get you those eyeballs. We'll get you that exposure. But in return, since we're getting you that new business that you might not have had otherwise, we'll do that transaction in barter credits, and we'll give you that buying power on the Barterpay ecosystem as opposed to the cash paying dollars. So it's worked out really well. We just did a real estate closing. I believe it just closed on August 11th for the commission was roughly $20,000, and I think they took 75% of that in barter. So it works really well from that perspective, but there's a lot of creative ways that you can use it. If you're somebody that's interested in barter, we can figure out what makes the most sense for you and your business to get you on networking and get your services available.
Well, I think it's a no-brainer. It's 4,000 businesses that are available, and quite frankly, at a relatively cheap marketing approach, right? You guys do it kind of all to help a business really push their product. Whether they have a spike or not, there's an avenue there. So I think it makes a tremendous amount of sense. So where are you guys going? What does the next 2 years look like for you guys?
Well, I would like to continue that kind of hyperbolic, parabolic growth. We've seen some great growth trajectory, and as we continue to bring on these new partners, these national partners, we're really starting to create that buzz. So what I would like to see us get to is roughly 500 businesses here in Toronto, maybe 15,000 businesses nationwide, and really start to see the name Barterpay become resonant with a new means of transacting, or a better way forward where everybody can kind of work together to help each other grow. I think especially in times like we're in right now, the importance of community, the importance of a network and actually working together kind of takes precedent over everything else. Mm-hmm. And I think in order to get us all through this, we're going to have to work together. So I would love to see people start to adopt barter as this new form of commerce that's kind of an inflation hedge, and that's also just a great way to connect with other business owners in your community.
Agreed. Is there an international scope at some point?
Absolutely. And I don't want to speak too much of this. This is our founder, John Porter, that's been working on a lot of this, the international expansion. But we are in talks with some businesses in the U.S. to expand there. We've had a lot of interest from other business owners in other countries that want to start getting involved as well. As of right now, we're specifically focused on Canada. We want to make sure that we're owning our sandbox here in Canada, mm-hmm. and making sure that we're kind of the primary source for barter here in Canada before we really start to move our efforts. But it's definitely in the works.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The World Barter Alliance is in the works.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Mike, anything else you want to cover?
I mean, not so much, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for the time and for having me on the show and letting me kind of have a platform to speak about Barterpay.
Sure, we
really appreciate it.
Yeah, we love new opportunities like this. I mean, I think it's a lot of businesses can benefit from having that Canada to Canada direct selling ability.
Yeah. You know what? One thing I would add actually before you go, and I know MadX Capital, fantastic business model. I love what you're doing, but what I would say is for businesses that are interested in selling their business, I know you tend to work on a revenue or a profit multiple to sell their business. Now, if you know you're going to sell your business in the future, wouldn't you want your profit or wouldn't you want your revenue numbers to be as high as possible, 100%. Right? And so Barterpay can be a way to fill up some of that, sell some of that idle capacity, increase that cash conversion cycle, and really grow that profit margin for the short term while you're really getting evaluated and while you're getting kind of audited for price on your business. So if you're looking to sell or if you're looking to buy, it's something to look at as a means of kind of, I don't want to say inflating the value of your business, but showing the true capacity of what your business can bring.
I agree. I also think one of the biggest factors in driving a multiple up is how well diversified a business is, right? So if they only have one avenue of selling, whether it's Amazon or Shopify, you add another avenue like this, then all of a sudden a potential buyer is like, okay, there's less risk, right? I'm not completely one platform focused. So, and like you said, there's always highs and lows in a business. There's going to be some capacity that's not fully utilized. So being able to always maintain that high level of sales by either going to your regular marketplace or this one, I think just gives you more options. So it's a great point. Absolutely. Mike, how do people get in touch with you?
You know what? You can find me on LinkedIn, Mike Grantis on LinkedIn, or you can email me at mike.grantis, GRANTIS @Barterpay.ca.
Perfect. I'll put all that in the show notes. And thanks for taking the time today. This was great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the time. Cheers.
All right. We'll talk soon. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Mad Profit Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, or the listening platform of your choice. Also, check us out at madxcapital.com for more useful information and resources to help you achieve your investing, entrepreneurial, and business goals. See you next week on the Mad Profit Podcast.